One thing I learned recently is that before God is going to shift your level, He's going to shift your mind first. This video is not about fake it till you make it. We are faithing it. We are faithing it until we walk in what God has planned and ordained for us. Here are 5 ways, 5 methods that I've started implementing in my life to think and behave like a rich person before God finally does His thing in my life. First thing that I started doing was simple but not too easy: becoming a steward. Now, what do I mean by becoming a steward? What's the job of a steward? I had to start learning how to manage what I have. It's not about, everyone always tells you, oh, learn to manage. It's not easy to manage, literally not easy. I mean, imagine receiving 2,000 naira. 2,000 naira, we're going really big. Imagine receiving 1,000 naira from someone. I just heard someone say I would slap that person that gave me 1K. But imagine getting 1,000 naira from someone and you're supposed to manage that money. You have to say no to a lot of things, and it's not easy. It is not easy. I mean, I got 1K today and I've been fighting myself. Should I or should I not? Should I buy this or should I not? After all, another one is going to come. But should I? It's not easy, but you have to learn how to manage that little, because when you can manage that little, that is when more will come. And when more comes, then you know how to handle it. I understood that I am only broke mentally. Now, we're talking about here. I'm only broke here if I keep complaining that what I have is not enough, what I have is not going to last for the day, where am I going to get another one? But I understood that wealth is going to start when I start seeing the opportunities that are laying for me, even in the little that I have present. Second thing that I had to start doing is sowing in faith and not in fear. Now, a lot of times we tend to, the verse that says, give and it shall be given unto you. 9 times out of 10, you're not giving because you actually have faith. You're giving because you just think that God is like this big guy who is going to strike you dead if you do not give. For me to be certain that I'm going to be rich and wealthy up here, I have to learn how to give even when the conditions are not right. I have to learn how to give in faith and not be waiting for the perfect moment, because if I keep waiting for a perfect moment before I sow, before I plant, before I invest, before I do that thing, before I learn that thing that I'm supposed to learn, that's just me being broke in my mind. One thing that I learned was the wealthy people, they sow in faith. The wealthy people understand that the seed today is going to be a plant tomorrow. And if you give it time, it can also be a damn forest. The third thing was speaking the end from the beginning. Now, this is the mindset that Abraham had. And Abraham, if you're reading your Bible, if you're not reading your Bible, or you don't even know what a Bible is, in the Bible, Abraham was a wealthy man. I also learned to start to speak visions and not necessarily speaking my situation. I started to learn how to declare things that be, even though they be not. I started to learn how to speak provision in lack, speaking strategy in chaos, because I understand that the power of life and death is right here. That's where the power of life and death is. So if I'm able to speak these things to life, I'm going to keep saying it until my mind finally believes it. Fourth thing, and this is something that I'm still working on mentally. It's honestly not easy. I'm not even going to lie. I have to start thinking about legacy and not just myself. I had to start thinking legacy and not just survival. There are times I'm like, okay, I need to do this. Oh, I'm going to go about it this way, and I'm going to execute this plan this way, and I'm going to do this way, I'm going to do that this way. And then I'm like, all of these thoughts right now that you're thinking, how is this going to help generations yet unborn? Are you planning to go through all of this suffering just to have another person suffer again? Like, you're supposed to be thinking generational level, like generational top shit, not me shit. Like, I had to fix that thought. Not even hard, because I still struggle with it. There are times I am conflicted about it, but that's one thing I'm working on. And when you learn how to focus on generational levels, there is this shift that happens in your head, and suddenly your priorities change, suddenly your plans change, suddenly your trajectory, everything is changing, because now you're seeing a bigger picture. And it's even easier when you're thinking generational wealth, because that should be the goal. That should really, really be the goal. Another thing is, kingdom wealth is not about luxury. It's about legacy. Fifth thing that I am doing at this moment, believing I am already who God says I am. Wealth begins with identity. I am not a poor person trying to become rich. No, I am royalty learning how to walk in inheritance. And when I have this understanding, it makes me know that my mindset has to rise first before my bank account is going to rise. My icon, you don't think rich after the money comes. You think rich and then the money comes as a response to an elevated mind. This is not self-hype, this is faith alignment. If this shifted something in your mind, I want you to share this with someone who is still stuck on survival mode and you want that person to leave that mode. Now, I want you to type in the comment section, my mind is wealthy before my life is, and practice speaking it to existence. We have to keep on speaking this until it begins to manifest.